So my boys, in this video, I'm gonna be doing Xbox One versus Xbox Series X. Why not do Series S versus the X? Because well, this is all I have. This works the same way as a PlayStation 4 versus PlayStation 5. So anyways, what I'm gonna show you is I'm gonna show you the loading screen and pretty much the frames per second while staying on to the game. I don't feel like doing dungeons or doing this or doing that because that takes way too much work. So anyways, throughout 7 years, oh by the way, you already know which one's gonna be the Series X. I don't even have to tell you about that. So throughout 7 years of my life, I've been playing Tera on the Xbox One. It was smooth. It was smooth like butter, easy to play. But with all the major updates leading up to Apex, it was literally impossible to play on the Xbox One. When I went to the Xbox Series X, it felt just like playing on the Xbox One when Tera first came out with all this, with no pretty much updates. Like if my Xbox One was to basically break, if my Xbox Series X was to break, I can't even go back to freaking the Xbox One. Look, I'm already logged in. I'm already logged in on the Series X. I'm still on the goddamn Battle Pass on the Xbox One. Oh my god. And then on top of that, when you're in dungeons, bro, when you're in dungeons, and like you have like 30 minutes of playing Tera before your frames per second sucks. You know, you're sitting at 15 to 20 frames per second. And you know the suck part is, it makes your character move all slow and stuff, making it to where you're doing no DPS, bro. That's right. If you lose frames per second, you know, you're losing DPS because your character moves so slow. And when you're at 60 frames per second, it's just like whoosh, whoosh. And then like on the Xbox One, it's like it's all goddamn slow. Anywhere you go in the freaking game, you freeze all over the place. And you know the thing is though, I don't even freeze. Like if you go on the map to where like you go to different locations, you freeze. If you're way by too many people, you start losing frames per second. You stay in the game, you lose frames per second. The only way to fix your frames per second on the Xbox One is every 30 minutes, you restart your game. And you know the suck part is, look how long I'm still logging in. I'm still trying to log in, god damn it. Bro, I actually feel bad to where I had to tell people, hey, can you give me a second? I need to restart my game. Goddamn 3 minutes. I felt so bad for the people who had to wait for me for 3 goddamn minutes. And you know the suck part is, I could reset 3 times on the Xbox Series X, and I could reset 3 times, and I'll DPS the Xbox One while I'm still stuck on the Battle Pass. Takes a minute, and the Vortex Blue thing takes about 40 seconds. Alright, now we're gonna switch to the other blah 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 clip. But yeah, if my Xbox Series X was to break, it would be impossible to play Tera on the Xbox One. Alright, my boys, the final test. So I'm going to stay logged in on Tera for over 30 minutes to see the frames per second. On Tera console last gen, this is the most buggiest place to be on last gen because the Xbox One can't really handle it compared to the Series X. So I'm gonna sit here and wait 12 minutes, and I'm gonna sit here and wait about 12:45. Alright, my boys, we've been logged in for pretty much 30 minutes or 25 minutes, but the results always end up the same. When you stay in one spot, it always sits at 60 frames per second, but when you start moving, it's like not 60 frames per second, but it always end up the same. I could stay logged in for about 5 to 10 hours and still have about decent frames per second, you know? 5, I would say like 5 or 10 hours, but you still lose a little bit, of frames per second. As for the Xbox One, it's about, if you stay logged in for 20 minutes to 10 minutes, the frames per second is kind of screwed. Now we're gonna try the Xbox One. Alright, my boys. We've been logged in for over an hour, reaching the Xbox One limit. If you be logged in for over an hour, you start experiencing some low frames per second, lots of lag, freeze delay, and making it unplayable for you to actually, do your rotation on the Xbox One. So pretty much, right, as you can see, I'm gonna be freezing a lot now, and there's way too many people around. If there's way too many people, it's gonna screw up your frames per second. Also, being in a dungeon, it will slow down your frames per second to where it makes your rotation a lot slow. As you can see, I can't stop freezing a lot for some reason. So the only way to fix the frames per second to stay at 50 or 60 is by pretty much resetting your game, so that way you can stop freezing. If you reset your game, which pretty much is gonna take about 3 minutes, it goes back to 50 frames per second and you can stop freezing. But as you can see, I mean, it was at like 40 and 50 when I think when I started playing. I mean, when I first whatchamacallit. But surprisingly, I'm not crashing a lot as I used to. I used to crash more often, but I guess they actually stop it. But what really sucks the most is that you just freeze a crap ton a lot. You just freeze so much. It just gets really annoying. And then you gotta reset your game and everything. But yeah, look how much I actually freeze. Now let me just say, the frames per second on my laptop it stays at 60 frames per second, so it's way much clearer of what you actually see on my TV. That's really incredible that I'm not crashing much as I used to. Because normally you could crash so many times. Wait. I want to see if I could get Pale to beat me up. Well, if you duel in High Watch, that's bound to be a crash. But that's just really amazing that you don't hardly crash, to be honest. But anyways, I wanted to end the video with a crash, but you know what? I don't care anymore. But anyways, I'm in the video right here. I wanted to show you how crappy the frames per second is on this game. I mean, it's like a bleh if you're not around people, but still you're bound to freeze a lot.